Get out there, really get out there. This week, Ria and I are going off the beaten path to show you around Capitol Reef National Park.
Then we're showing you a great destination to tap into for a little off-road action, especially if you've been looking to test drive a brand new and very unique rig.
Finally, spring is in bloom, and the AYL crew is hanging out at a great festival that features all the sights, sounds, and colors of the season. It's all headed your way right now. At Your Leisure is next. Well, I picked up this map, Ria, but we're going to have to start making some decisions because there's more than we can possibly do in a day, maybe even a weekend.
Oh my gosh, this is truly a treasure map.
Yes, it is like this.
Welcome to At Your Leisure, everybody. I'm Ria Rossi Booth.
And I'm Chad Booth. And you know, being right here in Utah as our headquarters, we don't spend very much time talking about national parks. And so we've come down to Capitol Reef today to kind of look around. And you know, everybody says, well, yeah, but you know, they don't have ATVs there. No, but you know, if you've got a full-size four-wheel drive vehicle, there are lots of backcountry roads, and there's a lot of history and fun things to explore. So we are going to do a little hiking today. We're going to look at a little bit of overlooks. We're going to do some of the fun stuff that you can do here in the park.
And the really fun thing to do is not speed through the park because you'll get it.
Yeah.
The cops are out here.
That's true. You know, people feel like it should be a 65-mile-an-hour road, but when you've got all this park traffic in here and people crossing for back and forth for trails, 35 is a much better choice.
Exactly.
Okay, there is so much to do here. We really better check in with an expert and find out some of the things you can do at Capitol Reef.
Capitol Reef is about a 242,000 acre park. Much of that is recommended wilderness, about 70% of it. There are a variety of areas that are accessible, either with hiking trails. We have the scenic drive that runs down one portion of the park. We have many different roads, mostly dirt roads, that actually access different areas of the park up and down the 90-mile stretch of the park. And then we also have different activities that people can do, such as canyoneering routes. We have quite a few canyoneering routes. Some of those require permits. Grand Wash is one of our very, very most popular hikes. It's a 2-mile route that goes right through the middle of a wash. You go into sort of a narrows area. It gives you that sense of having these 1,000-foot high walls that you're surrounded by, and you get a lot of the echoing sounds of voices and things like that. So it's just a really amazing thing, but it's a very gentle 2 miles. I think it has about a 200-foot elevation change in 2 miles. So very simple.
So in the world of hiking, which Capitol Reef is most known for, this is kind of like the hot spot. It's at the top of Grand Wash, and from here you can hike in all kinds of different directions.
Oh, absolutely. And obviously you can bring your mountain bike in here to the trailhead and stop and then hike it up.
That's right.
Yeah, this is a really cool idea though.
Be sure to follow the park rules because hiking is allowed in all kinds of terrain, but when you get to an edge of a wilderness area, bikes aren't allowed, and so you have to hike from there. But
because they're mechanical?
Right. Now, their trail system goes, one route goes from here over to the Fremont River right along Highway 24, or you can go up here and take a turn and go up to the top of Cassidy Arch, or you can follow a middle trail that will take you up and connect to the canyon, which will take you down, I'm trying to think of the name of it, right up by the visitor center. And shame on me, but look on your map and you'll know what that is.
You know what? I can't help you out on that, which is unusual.
But she can help you out on the fact that it's time for us to go to our where to. Hey, welcome back to At Your Leisure. Ria and I are just kicking around here at Capitol Reef National Park, and we're just finding out all kinds of fun stuff about the park. Now, this is my fantasy material right here. This is a place I've always had on my bucket list, and I haven't come camping here yet.
You know what? We need to. This is lovely, and I can see why.
Yeah, it's the fruit of Campground. And I was always under the impression that if you came here and camped during fruit picking season, you could actually go out into the orchard and pick fruit.
But they said you don't have to camp here. You can actually get a day pass and come out here, pick your fruit, and then they'll like charge you like $1 a pound or something. It's like between June and October, that makes sense, right? That's the harvesting.
Cherries through apples, yeah.
Yeah. And they just what I love about it is you can bring the whole family. It's like a really fun thing to do.
Think about how many kids, even some of you who have 5-year-olds who don't know that a cherry comes from a tree.
There you go. They think it's at the grocery, right?
Right. So
Great.
This is a great connection, which is what the homestead is all about. And the homestead that's here, the Gifford Homestead, has a whole history of its own.
Fruita orchards are an amazing attribute of this national park. It's the largest historic orchard system in the National Park Service. And then here in the Fruita area, which is where we are right now, which is where park headquarters is, have our visitor center, we have a campground here, and we also have 2 first come first serve campgrounds, one up in the North District of the park up in Cathedral Valley, the other down in the Water Pocket Fold District called Cedar Mesa Campgrounds. A little bit more rustic experience at Cathedral Valley and at Cedar Mesa Campground. Those are just dry campgrounds. We have vault toilets and picnic tables, and that's the amenities that we have out in there.
If you find the camping arrangements inside the park to be just a little bit too primitive, even though they are pretty cool, just a few miles to the west, maybe 10 minutes out of the park, is the Wonderland Rv Park. It's one of our favorite places here in Torrey, and it's just got everything.
Oh yeah, it's great. They got like little hound dogs running around and baby goats, and they got cool little cabins like a sheep herder cabin. I mean, it's so cozy.
Wouldn't that be a goat herder cabin?
Yeah, today it would be. But no, it's fabulous. And then right up the hill is the Broken Spur, which is a beautiful lodge with a great steakhouse.
And a great view. It's got a vista out over into the park, so it's pretty cool.
I mean, it's walking distance. It's gorgeous.
Right. Okay, well, right now it's time for us to move away from here and on to this week's Along the Way. In a historical perspective, I love the simple names of the past. We are at a landmark out here. No, it's not called Old Truck with an Eyeball on the back of it. It's called Waterwell Springs. And it's pretty straightforward. There's a spring here you can see because the water is naturally flowing into this trough. The well is right over there. And that's how they name things out in the desert. Now, we are on a route north of Highway 24. It's a big loop that kind of connects Loa over to the other side, the Caneville side of Capitol Reef. It's called the Cathedral Valley Road, and this is one of the stops along the way. It's not a highway, it's a byway, because we've seen one car. But we're going to keep going. Right now, why don't you take a look at next week's show?
Next week, Chad and I are going to experience the finer side of camping as we check out some great glamping options at East Canyon State Park.
The only way Ria would have it. Then, Rhys Stein is back to show you a great camp in the Mill Creek Canyon area that has a wide variety of activities from archery to rock climbing.
Finally, we're joining the folks from Green River at a great new dirt bike rally that welcomes riders of all ages and skill levels to participate in all the fun. Now let's take a look at our calendar of events.
First up, the Beaver County ATV Jamboree is taking place next week from May 10th through the 13th. It is sure to be a great time for the whole family, so come on down and ride.
If you're looking for something a bit more extreme, then check out the side-by-side adventure Rally on the Rocks, where Curtis is going to be throwing down the challenge to Chad, and that'll be May 11th through the 13th.
Ooh, I'm a little bit scared.
I would be.
Yeah, it's going to get you plenty of rock crawling opportunities, so be sure to get down there and see what happens.
Also, be sure to check out the all-new AYLTV.com website and stay up to date on all the great outdoor events coming up throughout the year.
Well, next week's show looks great, and I bet you thought we were going to be at an overlook, but that's not the way we roll it at your leisure, as you can see.
Fortunately, as you can see, we literally are with Sheriff Jensen. This is the Wayne County Sheriff, and this awesome, awesome guy, Gary Bryan. He'll tow you out of anything. Yes, we broke down. Surprise, surprise.
But the good news is in the back, now this is a serious reminder.
it is.
If we had not had access to a spot that could give exact GPS, we'd still be up there and we might be there next week for the show. But because we had a way to communicate
Yeah, with the sat phone.
with a little satellite spot, we were able to get help precisely to where we were. And also I have a chance to solve those warrants that are out for my parking tickets.
But right, Brian? Yeah, they're his. They're not mine, believe me. But you were saying.
Just remember, well, how often do you do this, Gary?
In the summertime, regularly.
Really?
Yeah.
You've got it down to like a memorized routine?
Yeah, mostly.
Well, you guys are both studs. I'm telling you. I was like saying my prayers today. Please have somebody rescue us.
Brian's Autos, who's going to tow you out.
Yep. And then we had an escort with Sheriff Jensen, so it was like really cool.
It was. Well, just remember, like we say at every show, there's adventure around every bend, and boy, did we prove it today.
Oh yeah, just got to get out there and create your own adventure
At your leisure. We'll see you guys later. How long is it going to take us to get to town?
Oh, 45 minutes.
Okay.
Perfect.